woke up one morning, breath stinking, still tired. The night before had me on a high. I'm still feeling a little wired, but it's Friday and I'm starting to think about plans for the weekend. I look over, see my baby still sleeping. So I hopped in the shower, brushed my teeth, washed my face. Looked back out, found my baby still asleep in the same place. I gave her a kiss on the forehead and her face managed to smile. I said, "How long you been up?" She said, "For a while." Then she said, "Honey, I think I'm going into labor." I got up and shook my head a couple times and asked her to do me a favor. I told her it wasn't good to be playing games like that. She then said she only wanted to see my facial expression and how I would react. I said, "That's all fine and dandy, but test me some other way. You know, saying things like that could come back and haunt you one day." But in my mind, I thought, what's the chance of that happening? In fact, I broke the tension in the room when I smiled and started laughing. And we then kissed for a minute as she lay on my chest, looked at the clock. It's 8 o'clock. I've got to start getting dressed. No time for breakfast as I headed out the door. Told my baby, "I love you," kissing her lips once more. Now I noticed that while I was getting dressed, my baby warmed the car with almost no delay. It was cold out today, and she wanted me to go to work warm the whole way. Aw, how sweet. Now see, that's the type of woman you want to make sure you keep. Look on the seat. Well, look at that. She even packed my lunch. And as I was looking back, I was kind of shook at the fact that halfway down the driveway, before I even reached its summit, I noticed my baby again clutching at her stomach. Now I thought to myself, she just doesn't quit. I continued on to work and thought no more of it. It was boring at work and the day was going by slowly, so I ended up having this dream about me and my baby becoming one in matrimony. I even slept long enough to think of a plan on how to propose. I mean, after all, I did have love right up under my nose. I mean, a lady who loves me tender and precious like I'm the last petal on a rose. I mean, though years apart, age didn't matter to us. It was what was in our hearts. It didn't matter nowadays anyways, when time or not. We knew we didn't have to be the same age to make a family start. The foundation we laid as friends first gave us a pretty good head start. So anyway, I woke up listening to the sound of a telephone ring, not knowing that this call would later change everything. But it was my baby calling me right on schedule, saying it was cute hearing me answer the phone all professional. But something was wrong in her voice. And before I got the chance to ask, she told me she was going into labor and for me to get home fast. Now I paused and then once again shook my head, but before I could say anything, the phone went dead. Now I thought for a moment, I couldn't just leave my job, but was that more important? Hell no, of course not. I mean, yeah, true, she played before, but there was something about her voice tone that made me leave the office in a frenzy and I rushed to get home. In the back in the car, I dialed the house using the cell phone, thinking to myself, please, baby, please hurry up and pick up the phone. There's ringing and ringing, and there's silence, and I hear it click. The cell phone hung up. I swear, of all the times for it to do this, so I stepped on the gas. I was already doing 80, cutting cars off and driving real crazy. I was getting closer to the house now. Good thing there were no cops in sight, because by then I wasn't stopping at stop signs and I ran just about every other light. Now coming down the street, I lost control and started to swerve. Got control back for a second, then crashed up on the curb. Then it was time to make a decision. So I jumped out the car, leaving the keys right in the ignition. I didn't care. I left the car right there, sideways, in the corner, and sprinted as fast as I could up the driveway. Now inside the house, I was seeing nothing but red. Found my baby on the couch. Her pillow propped her head. The baby was coming early. Her water was broke. She said she had started to dilate some time ago. So simultaneously thinking about being lost without my baby and having to live life alone, I swear I tripped over everything trying to make it to the telephone. Looking at all that blood on the floor almost made me myself fold. I finally got an answer though. Hello, 911? Oh my God. Yeah, okay, I'll hold. I waited on the phone for about 10 seconds, waiting for someone on the other end to start asking me questions. But all I heard was silence, and I thought to myself, I gotta get off this phone and take my baby to get some help. I was a nervous wreck. I was unable to wait anymore, so I dropped the phone, got my baby, headed out the door, carried her back to the car, trying to remain as calm as possible, slammed down the gas, racing towards the nearest hospital. I must have been waiting for what seemed like 7 or 8 hours. I was hungry, tired, plus I needed a shower, but I wasn't leaving until I knew my baby would be all right. I don't care if I have to stay here stinking for the rest of the night. All I was thinking about was, God, please don't take my baby, waiting anxiously for the results while the ticking of that daggone clock drove me crazy. The doctor came out. He said there were some complications. He said they couldn't save the newborn, And now my baby had a slim chance of making it. Wait. I don't understand. Wait, you've got to be kidding me, right? I mean, this has got to be some kind of joke. The doctor reassured me, though, things were okay, though, that there was still hope. He was confident everything was fine and to keep up my head, but just then a siren went off. Code red, code red. People were rushing everywhere from one place to the next, but they were all going right to room 103, the room my baby was at. Now, thinking the worst, I again started to pray, but I was so distraught, I didn't know what to say. I just sat there and broke down right there in my seat, letting the tears roll down my face and drop on my feet. I tried my best to be optimistic and keep positive thoughts, but it was hard to envision because one life I had already lost. So after a few minutes of swearing, I managed to get my bearings. I would tell myself, okay, she's gonna pull through. She's strong, she's a fighter. But I hope this doctor doesn't come out and make me a liar. And then the negative thoughts in my mind were beginning to compile because she had been in there struggling to survive for quite a while. I continued to wait. The hospital grew quiet. The sound of a door eventually it broke the silence. First a surgeon, then a few nurses stepped out. Finally, after a minute or two, the same doctor crept out. Now here I am, hardly able to think and on the brink of a nervous breakdown, and I got to watch him walk over to me with an awkward smile, his facial expression in slight disbelief as he starts to succumb in grief. And I wasn't ready for all that, which broke my spirit. I was doing my best not to listen. I swear I didn't want to hear it, and my eyes had already started to glisten. So if you're going to come over and tell me anything, because I know you know this is worrying me, tell me you did the job clean and professional like you said you do. Tell me it was a successful surgery. Please, I'm begging you. He managed composure and slowly came over. And it's like I already knew where this was headed. He then spoke these dreaded words to me out his mouth. Sir, we did all we could do. And that's the last thing I remember right before I blacked out. And I woke up in here. Wait, where am I?